I unequivocally believe and advocate for young black women to adopt this MRS degree mentality. Yeah, I said it. Now, it bucks the traditional teachings of us avoiding boys until we are so-called established. But what no one tells us as young black women matriculating on America's college campuses is that for these 4 years, or maybe 7 or 8, depending on whether or not you pursue graduate or professional studies, well, this will be the last time that you will be in such a concentrated space with this many presumably available men of projected equal educational and financial positioning. And if you desire to marry a black man, as the vast majority of black women do, this is even more so the case. And this is exactly where this whole idea starts to get really complicated, right? See, culturally, our society has shifted a bit from stigmatizing men who choose to be forever bachelors. These middle-aged single men are no longer punished by way of being kept out of prestigious companies or leadership roles. I mean, we literally have a 63-year-old, single, never been married, heterosexual black man as the mayor of New York City right now. And there's another one just like him. He happens to be 54, and he's serving in the U.S. Senate. So listen, I can understand, very understand, how a black man who is successful and educated would not be greatly incentivized to hurry up and put a ring on any woman's finger by the time he walks across a college graduation stage. The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated black men is so low when compared to black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 black women students for every 1 black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision-making instead of on the back half. Oh, and one more thing. This MRS degree is not foolproof. There's a lot that can go wrong when you get married at 23 years old, including divorce and other problems. So the takeaway is simply this. Just know as much as you can about the marriage marketplace and your current and your future positioning in it so that you can make the best and most informed decision for you and your most true priorities.
Okay, so this is the clip that when I first heard it, I was like, wow, on the surface, Ebony led people to believe that she had seen the light. Now, you got to listen to this with a discerning ear, because the first time you might be like, okay, she might have seen the error of her ways, and she might be turning over a new leaf. After years of being difficult and competitive, unruly, and just downright insufferable, she may have finally decided to turn over a new leaf. But in this clip, she talks about the reality of women's options decreasing as they age. And I was quite shocked because typically it is very difficult to get women to agree with observable reality, right? She Ebony in that statement, she gets no argument out of me on that point. It's just a fact. We've had plenty of people say it. In fact, they tried to chop off Kevin Samuels' head when he said it, that when he said that women had a fit and they were ready to just delete him. But the fact of the matter was we needed to hear it because we needed to face the truth, right? No one is saying that it's impossible for marriage and motherhood to occur when a woman is older, right? What we are saying is that, one, geriatric pregnancy is real and your body cannot do what it does at 45 that it is designed to do at 25. Girl, you are not Sarah, okay? You're not Sarah and you're not Elizabeth, right? Those women were uniquely chosen by God for a specific purpose to birth John the Baptist, okay? And so that the promised seed, the seed of Abraham, could flourish. Okay, so you are not that, and it is not biologically possible as a normative pattern for 50-year-olds to have babies. Yes, we have isolated incidences that 50-year-olds are still ovulating and, they luck up and they have that baby. But I'm not going to allow you to smoke hopium over here. That is not what we do on this channel. I'm not going to let you smoke hopium and get high off of delusion. If that's what you want, if that is the content that you want to take in, you are free to find that. There are so many channels that are out here lying to women, telling them about great tidings, good tidings of great joy. We don't do that over here. Okay, so if you want to smoke hopium, go somewhere else and go smoke your hopium and get high off your delusion. We have to deal in truth. We are people of truth. Okay, there are some times where harsh words do not feel good in the moment, but you have to be at least willing to say, you know what? Either it's true or it's not. You just have to deal with the facts. Now, the part about this clip that I just shared is subtle, but that tells me that Ebony is still lost is when she says that college is the place that women, Black women in particular, will find men. Here was the kicker that she said she told on herself and she gave it away. She said that college in particular, Black women in particular, will find men that are projected to have equal education and financial positioning. Y'all, this chick can't get her needle stuck off of money. It's always about the money with these Oratchetans. They know nothing. I think I saw Sister Victoria said it. Like, we're here for a purpose, but money is not the gold. We have eternity in mind. Yes, you have to provide. Yes, you have to take care of yourself. But these women know nothing about building a nuclear family with strong values and a legacy to be proud of. All they see, all they desire, and all they pursue are resources, financial resources. Prove me wrong. The idea that the only kind of viable partner for an educated, and I use that in air quotes because they are churning out these dumbest brick women out these institutions, a dime a dozen, but they're educated, right? The only kind of viable partner, quote unquote, for the educated woman, according to her, is a man that is, quote unquote, on her level. When she says that exposes that she has not changed. She is still shallow and silly and ignorant. That's why she is on the Oratchetan spectrum. These women, they are not bound by the truth of Scripture. I get it. These are unregenerate women. And they are functioning and they are moving in a scriptureless society. Yes, they are void of the truth and they cannot help you. But why is it that I see some of God's people listening to these women, taking in what they say and adopting these same worldly, secular mindsets? These women, they wouldn't know what a good man is if he showed up on their door on the front porch with a sign dangling around his neck. They're blinded. They are blinded by the lies of the enemy, whether it's the propaganda of mutt culture on this side or the feminism on this side. These women are lost. This woman, she threw black men under the bus again. She didn't have to talk about the bus driving man, but she threw that type of man under the bus again by stressing the fact that, well, if you're in college and you desire to date a black man, well, you have to meet him there while he's in school, because outside of the college campus, there aren't really a lot of black men that would qualify to marry a college-educated black woman. You guys, she is still selling you a bag of lies. Still trying to push the idea that because you attend college, because you are working on your degree, that this is what makes you eligible and desirable. And she actually said that all of us are going to be targeting the same pool of men, as if the only pool of good men exists on these Marxist college campuses. And that's just not true. It is the same snobbery, the same elitist aristocracy mindset that she was pushing when she sat down with Ayanla. She's still placing the idea in the heads of so many young black women that, yes, if you're going to be, chasing a man for marriage and you want to have kids, you have to position yourself to get them from here, because the pool of black men going to college anyway, well, it's already real small. Are you catching what she's saying? Did you hear it? She's still excluding regular blue-collar men and average working-class men, making women believe that the best caliber of men and the only caliber of men that are worth pursuing early are found in these institutions. You may not have caught it, but that's what I caught. It's not what she's saying, it's what she's not saying. Good soil, my friends, bears good fruit. Bad soil bears frustration and failure. This woman has built her entire life on bad soil with bad seeds. And I know this is going to sting. This is going to sting, but it needs to be said. Ebony failed at creating the life that she now wants, and she still doesn't know how to get it. She has spent a great deal of time when she was younger chasing the bag. So that's all she knows how to do. She knows how to get the bag. And she is still in her language and her messaging pushing the same toxic mindset onto younger women. It was so obvious in this clip. All she is doing is teaching you how to be smarter and to start chasing the bag sooner. Smarter in the sense that, oh yeah, you need to chase the bag. You need to chase the bag sooner. It's the same shallow and silly messaging as before. It's just a little more sanitized. That's it. Just a little more sanitized. The woman does not want a husband. This woman does not want a family. She doesn't want to be a devoted family builder. She just wants the external trappings of what she thinks that those things provide. What am I talking about? Like, what do I mean? Like most Oratchetans on this end of the spectrum, they don't want to build a family. They're motivated by money and lots of it. All they see are dollar signs. It's cha-ching everywhere. All they see and all they want is the big wedding. All they want is a social media timeline that will be the envy of others so that it can feed their selfish little egos. All they want is the appearance of success. All they want is to impress their other Oratchetan girlfriends, and all they want to do, they just want to consume. Their God is their belly. They worship themselves, their achievements, and all the external things that have no eternal value. You guys, this woman is not a wife. Ebony and the Oratchetans like her on this end of the spectrum, they don't even know what a wife is or what a wife does. Now, we know she wants a kid. We know she wants a kid because she's talked about having adequate resources to love and to give a child things, but she is not a wife, nor does she even know what a wife brings to the table. There is no way, if I were a man, I'd have her be the mother to my child, because this woman does not understand sacrifice. She doesn't understand sacrifice. This woman doesn't understand duty and honor and respect. She is clueless as to what humility and meekness or virtue looks like. And so in the world of Oratchetans like this, it's her career, her money, and her material possessions. Those are the things that she brings to the table. But none of those things are things that men actually want or care about. They do not care. Oratchetans, they do for self. That's it. Every decision they make, every calculated risk that they take, it is all for the greater good and benefit of them and no one else. No one else. But a good man, a devoted man, a family man, someone who would be good to her and good for her, she doesn't bring anything of value to him, but instead, that's a whole headache and an emotional burden if I've ever seen one. Whole headache. And when women like this talk about a man, they only speak about men as it relates to their resources and him being on their level. Now, mind you, their level in reality is way down here. It's like way down here in the scallywag territory. But to them, in the delusions of their mind, from all of the hopium that they smoke, they think they are way up here. To these women, suitability is equated to and attached to the resources that a man can provide. But outside of his resources, outside of the resources, a man can only provide her with just sperm. That's it. Just a vial of sperm. She'd prefer his money and his sperm, but a vial of sperm will do. That'll be sufficient.